Welcome everybody to my retrospective of Season 2 of Rick and Morty. Watch my Season 1 video if you haven't already. That first video was a big success, so now I can do a single video for every season. If you're from the future, check out the playlist in the description to see the full series. When Season 2 originally released, I was overjoyed that this weird and crazy show that I loved so much is getting a second season, and I'm not the only one who cares about it. Could you believe it? Rick and Morty for 200 years, a million years, rickandmorty.com, and only now, 7 years later, am I doing this retrospective, analyzing every season of Rick and Morty. Idiots out there think Rick and Morty is over, but it's still coming, it's still kicking, and it's going to kick your ass if your IQ isn't high enough. I'm of course joking, but I seriously do have very little respect for people who don't love this show. Your life must be so important that you don't have time for fun sci-fi adventures. Fucking get out of here. Season 6 is coming out right now and it's amazing. Great episodes all around. Well, I've seen 2 so far, but I believe in it. I believe in you, Rick. Well, I believe that you'll be entertaining. If I was relying on you to do the right thing, I'd be out of luck. Alright, let's get analyzing. You'll have to wait till the end of the series to find out which of the seasons is my favorite. I don't know yet, I usually just watch whatever episode I want to, but now I have to watch them in order, so this will give me a better idea of what is my favorite season. But Season 2 is certainly one of the good ones, so you're in for a ride. And spoilers, obviously, I guess. Let's go right ahead with Episode 1. Rick, Morty and Summer are stuck in a feedback loop of uncertainty after unfreezing time, so I guess literally no time has passed since Season 1. Except of course for the time that these 3 have spent cleaning up the house while time was frozen as a whole. While the 3 are fighting for their very existence, Bess and Jerry spent $500 on ice cream. Rick explains that both Summer and Morty are equally dumb, but it's clear that Summer has way more of the asshole brand of genius that Rick has than Morty. As usually, the episode is full of neat little details as Rick attempts to fix the timeline. The way we're seeing what's happening in a split screen is unique and brilliant, and then a time cop arrives and tries to arrest them for messing with the timeline. I hope this time cop returns later, cause he is pretty cool. I wonder if he has anything to say about evil Morty destroying all those dimensions. Oh no, looks like I was wrong. In the first episode of Season 6, I made it so that he in fact did not destroy all the timelines where Rick was smart, and we would have had to deal with all the other timelines where someone else is smart. That would have been cool. But no matter, wife-killing Rick is also a very fun antagonist. Anyways, in the end credit scene, Einstein is visited by the alien testicle time cop, which leads to him discovering the theory of relativity, the hard way. Alright, Rick Tech. $500 in unmarked cash. Could have been stolen from the bank, but then the bank would be able to track it, maybe? So my theory is that he counterfeited instead and it qualifies as a Rick product. Number 2. A device that specifically can tell whether or not you're in a Schrödinger's trap like earlier. Did Rick build this just in case the kids became uncertain? Good to be prepared, I guess. Number 3. Rick rewired his time-stopping device into an uncertainty-fixing device that apparently doesn't work as well as the time cop's necklace thing. I guess Rick keeps the illegal time crystal on him at all times, which means that nobody can watch Interdimensional cable without Rick. Number 4. A little hoop that can send bullets fired from this regular gun to other possible uncertainty realities. I love how we can see Rick unscrew the time-stopping device to get the crystal real quick to attach it to the gun. Number 5. Rick's phone can receive time crystals like a USB plug. I guess it can do a little more than just not make you deaf. Also, it's black now instead of white. Did they get a new one? Or upgrade it? Who knows? Unless they made this shit up as they went along, he can probably now call Ricks from other dimensions with this newly modified phone, whenever he's not stuck in a time loop. Episode 2. Rick is revealed to be an illegal arms dealer in space. Morty goes on an adventure to set out to murder the hitman who bought the gun from Rick. What a dumbass. I could think of a million ways this could go wrong. So of course Rick has to save him, but then Morty insists on freeing Fart, the psychic alien. What the fuck, Morty? You don't like this hitman, but apparently this dangerous convicted criminal must be saved. The ensuing chase is extremely difficult even for Rick and leads to untold destruction. I guess a cocky Morty really does lead to all kinds of trouble. Fart turns out to be a genocidal guy, so Morty has to kill him. In the meantime, Jerry gets to play with the other Jerrys in a daycare specially made for Jerrys. He tries to escape, but it doesn't go well. But in the end, Rick and Morty come to take him home.
Wait, do you have 5126? I'm not sure. Morty, that's a Blips and Chits ticket.
What?
Whatever.
Wait, what?
All right, come on, Jerry.
In season 6, it is in fact confirmed that Jerry goes home to the wrong reality because Morty lost the ticket. Jesus, Morty, how much can you possibly get wrong in one single episode? Wow, this one really could have been one for the mind blowers, you know? But I guess not, because it's confirmed that Morty remembers this part. After the credits, Rick is in the Blitz and Chits commercial. Hey kids, come play our games. If you're lucky, you can meet the dangerous terrorist Rick Sanchez and his deeply troubled grandson. Don't tell the cops about this commercial though. Well, I guess the cops can't know about this place anyways, because as shown in the commercial, you can lose your head just for losing a game. Yikes. In season 6, there's a whole episode about playing Roy. And it is revealed that if the power goes out while you're playing Roy, you die permanently in real life. But it's all good because you end up living 5 billion lives inside of Roy before you die. Isn't that great? Unless they turn off the game, I guess. Rick's phone apparently works in space as well. How convenient. Number 1. A gun that shoots antimatter, very useful for killing space farts. Dark matter is apparently dark purple. Rick has the ability to talk while playing Roy. Did he make an implant that allows him to bypass unconsciousness? Who knows? Well, if he did, he certainly doesn't have it anymore in season 6. Wah. Rick's car didn't start after Morty crashed it, but then Rick comes in and the car works fine. Did Rick disable the car so that he could pretend to save Morty? You controlling motherfucker. Or maybe it's like Gear had said, damaged gears due to years of neglect. Also, the car still has the neutrino bomb in it, a whole season after Morty had to disarm it. Jeez, Rick, guess a car crash and you might nuke whatever planet you're on. Another way that Morty was irresponsible was crashing that car into the prison, I guess. Episode 3. Rick rekindles his old flame Unity, who is a body-snatching hive mind, while Summer is trying to undermine his happiness by trying to lead a revolt against Unity and being really passive-aggressive. You know, I really don't think I ever enjoyed Summer's bullshit.
You and Unity are like leggings and mid-calf boots. You think you're great together, but you're just bringing out the worst in each other.
And of course Unity ends up breaking up with him, and I blame Summer. Of course you might say it's fair game after what Rick did by building an amusement park in her boyfriend, but honestly, Summer is such a huge bitch all the time, I'm really glad Rick doesn't hang out with her as much after this episode. Now you might think Summer was telling the hard truth and they were not going to last. If you're an idiot! Her passive-aggressive bullshit clearly wormed her way into Unity's hive mind and made her doubt the great relationship that was developing here. All Rick is doing here is having sex with her, and it doesn't even look like they took any more drugs after that first one. I think Rick and Unity would have been such a great couple and they would have ruled the universe together. But no! Someone had to ruin it for everyone. Just imagine how cool it could have been if Rick had also become a hive mind and they would have had sex on a planetary scale. One huge orgy. Meanwhile, back home, Bess does not appreciate Sherry's delightful hip-hop slang.
Hating this player, or are you gonna jack my steeds?
Okay, you're just making stuff up now.
I don't know why he puts up with her. In the end, Unity is checked up with this Borg cube-type motherfucker Beta Orbiter, and then Rick almost kills himself because he is lonely. Way to go, Summer. Who's gonna stop Evil Morty now? Oh man, Evil Morty actually didn't need to be stopped, huh? I guess I really should have written the script after watching that first episode. Too bad Unity never returns. She could have been one of the most interesting characters. I really would like to know if she continued conquering planets after the breakup.
They just put you at the center of their lives because you're powerful, and then because they put you there, they want you to be less powerful. Never gonna happen though, right? Never!
Oh god, did Unity give up her plan of galactic domination because Rick said this and then Summer ruined it for her? Fuck Summer. Ugh. Well, I hold out hope against all reason that she will be back one day and Rick can settle down with her. But it probably won't happen since the show considers Summer's retarded reading of the situation that the two are bad for each other to be the truth. Because I can literally hear the writers jerking themselves off when Summer delivered that line. Rick Tech. Number 1, a distress signal reader. Either Rick has found a way to universally decode messages from any language, or there is a widely used word for help. Number 2, a regular spray can. Not sure if he made it himself, probably not. Number 3, a subterranean layer under the garage. This one's quite big. It must hold countless impossible technologies. Number 4, some kind of translator device for an alien language. I wonder if that uses some kind of AI in combination with a brain scanner to learn languages. Well, either way, it clearly has learned enough of this alien's language already, so it can speak it fluently. Number 5, an unfreezing potion. Guess this could have saved the kid from season 1. A little late, Rick. Anyways, the other Ricks from the Citadel already had an unfreezing ray, so I guess Rick is definitely late with this invention. Number 6, a needlessly complicated way to incinerate suffering creatures. Episode 4. Rick finds a form of alien parasite that uses memory flashbacks to embed itself into your life. Tension rises as they can't figure out who is real and who is a parasite, and every time they try to remember anything, more parasites appear from their fake memories. A really cool concept, and the way they figure out who is real is pretty smart too, because everyone in the family is such an asshole that the parasites couldn't possibly emulate such horrible relationships accurately. If only one parasite could have come up with a vaguely bad memory. Rick Tech. It's shown that the gun needs ammo. Weird. And it needs to reload after just one shot? That's very strange. Or maybe Poopy Butthole embedded that memory of the gun needing ammo into Rick's mind to disguise the fact that he is a space parasite. Poopy Butthole isn't real. Don't believe the lies. He's just embedded that story of him getting shot in the family's mind to avoid death. He's just gonna look. He's embedded himself into the intro. This is gonna be the biggest reveal of all. Season 10, and the final enemy is gonna be Poopy Butthole as a parasite. Oh my god, the one parasite that got away. He didn't take over the world, but he is gonna be ready to kill Rick or something. Who knows? Number 1, blast doors for the whole house. You don't want to know how many reasons there are to have those. Number 2, Rick's watch apparently controls the blast shields. Sorry guys, I may have fallen short in the previous episode. I completely forgot to look out for all the crazy watches that Rick might have had. I know he had like 3 dumb watches that probably didn't do anything at the very end of the first episode. But I guess I better look out now. Number 3, a hidden wall of weapons behind the washing machine that automatically opens. Did Rick start stockpiling weapons in case he had to face off with Beta 7, the hive mind? Who knows? Episode 5, a giant head challenges the Earth to participate in a galactical musical reality show where the eliminated planets get destroyed. And Rick meets one of my favorite characters ever, the President. You guys probably forgot about this, but getting Schwifty means to drop down your pants and shit on the floor.
Take off your pants and your panties, shit on the floor. Time to get Schwifty in here.
You're welcome for the reminder. Now that's my kind of music. Shit on the floor, baby. Meanwhile, we see that apparently the only cure for summer's bitchiness is religion, as the town starts worshipping the giant heads. Morty is really not handling this well and is trying to put pressure on Rick. He wants to save the family, which is kind of retarded when you think that the whole planet is at stake. But then he almost dies and meets Bird Person, so it's not all bad. Rick's plan is to participate in the music show and risking almost certain death as a hero would. But not because he's a hero, it's just because he likes the thrill of it all and he's happy to showcase his music, which is why he has not chosen to save the Smith family like Morty wanted or have any other kind of backup plan. Rick Tech. A watch that shoots deadly particle beams. Not the same watch as the last episode though. Number 2, a snake holster that creates snakes. Does it use the matter that the particle beam destroyed? Who knows? Funny that Rick would use this fake magic trick. Guess he hasn't mastered the art of transformations yet. Episode 6. Rick has to get into the car battery to make some repairs. But oh no, inside the battery a different kind of Rick has evolved. And he has also built a battery with a microverse inside it. Meanwhile, Summer is stuck in the car as the car takes increasingly fucked up measures, vaguely in the service of keeping Summer safe. Though she probably would have been more safe if the car hadn't started attacking people in the first place. Rick's car is one of my favorite characters in the show. I love when she comes back later. This episode has a lot of fun concepts, but I think it's too bad that they found it necessary to come up with another Rick. You already have all the other Ricks that live in the multiverse. It's just implausible that another Rick would evolve inside a car battery. Anyways, the battle between Rick and Green Rick is really neat. I love all the tools they use to fight each other. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to categorize all those, huh? Well, at least in the end it all comes down to a fist fight, like any good manly dispute. Who's the best slave master? By the way, how did they get the car into this alternative reality? It wouldn't fit through a portal, would it? If the car can travel through dimensions, why would Rick ever need a portal gun? Rick Tech, number 1, Car AI. This is the first time the car seems to be sentient, unlike in the pilot episode where it can merely say, neutrino bomb armed. The car also has all kinds of lasers and arms now. Number 2, a shrinking device to go into the microverse battery. Great, now Rick has a shrinking device that won't collapse your lungs if you don't hold your breath. Number 3, the microverse battery.
I put a spatially tessellated void inside a modified temporal field until a planet developed intelligent life.
Number 4, some kind of cube spaceship so he can visit the people in the microverse. Number 5, apparently the car can create life from scratch. Perfectly designed to be like that guy's dead son. Or maybe it was some kind of shape-shifting Pokemon, who knows. Number 6, multiple stakes launcher. Number 7, mech built from wood. Number 8, some kind of improvised device to grow to full size and teleport out of the Teeniverse. Number 9, Sanchez ski boots. Apparently jet-powered. Seems less practical than a jetpack would be, but whatever. Number 10, Morty car. Morty could now turn into a car, but not reliably. Good thing he didn't kill anyone when he transformed in the classroom. Number 11, the Google box, the most convenient way to enslave a population to generate your power for you. Episode 7, Rick turns himself into Tiny Rick to fight vampires off screen, but then spends most of his time partying in high school with his grandkids. Meanwhile, Bess and Sherry go to space for couple counseling. You know, this is kinda nice. Rick finally does something for the family, even for Sherry and Bess for once. This alien couple therapy creates mythologs from their brainwaves to teach them a valuable lesson. But then they become self-aware and it becomes a Jurassic Park situation. Pretty awesome. Wow, these alien therapists sure are incompetent. If ever these people come in with really bad relationships, they'll just come in and spawn monsters and everyone will die. And Jerry has to save the day, but does so in a somewhat accidental way, not like in Season 1, where he can fully become a badass. Meanwhile, Rick decides that Project Phoenix is a terrible idea and braces his older self. God, this episode is great. Imagine if I had to rank these episodes when they're all so flawless like this 10 out of 10. Season 2 might just be the best ever, you know? Except for Bess, I don't believe how you're treating Sherry all the time. He saved you in this episode. I better see some better behavior from you in the future. What does it matter if he's a little goofy, if he's willing to rush into a room full of mutated clones with superpowers to save you? Rick Tech. Number 1. The car has a button for passenger purge. A trapdoor that ejects Beth and Sherry. Number 2. The Phoenix program comes with cloning technology tubes with clones suspended in liquid and a way to transfer Rick's consciousness into a clone and back. Clearly this technology is still in its infancy as Rick needs to apply diodes to his head to transfer, unlike later doing it by shooting someone with a laser or just calling them on the phone. And it's obviously broken since Rick is almost taken over by Tiny Rick's personality. Why does your clone even have a personality, Rick? Are you a hack or something? So I guess this was the cutting edge of Rick research, and he was still working out a lot of kinks. Episode 8. Jerry got sick because he ate some dangerous bacteria that Rick is keeping in the fridge. Rick seems to think it's easier to get Jerry to an alien hospital rather than to make a cure for himself. Or maybe he just prefers to see Jerry suffer.
What?
Well, now that Jerry is taken care of, Rick can watch Interdimensional cable. Jerry's life is easily saved, but the universe needs his penis. They want to fashion his dick and asymmetrical ballsack into a heart transplant for some dumb civil rights leader. This guy looks like he's 90 years old. Just let him die already and leave Jerry's balls alone. How important can civil rights really be? Then Cherry ends up taking the operation room hostage with a dildo gun because of his indecisiveness and impulsiveness. And he risks it all in order to attempt to literally insert his dick into the exposed heart cavity. I'm blown away. What do you think is gonna happen if you fuck this guy's heart cavity? You think that's gonna fashion your dick into a heart? Wow, Cherry is really retarded in this episode, and he still hasn't learned his lesson by the end of the episode as he tries to snack on Rick's forbidden eye holes and gets beaten up. No wonder that Season 2 Cherry destroyed the entire world in the Season 6 pilot. Obviously Season 1 Cherry is far superior. Maybe I was wrong and Bess really should get a divorce, huh? Well, a really good episode, except for all the random stuff on TV that only fools care about, surely. Yeah, suck it, Interdimensional Cable fans. I'm so glad we don't have to see any more of this random stuff. Rick Tech. Well, just International Cable again, no other Rick Tech to report this time. There's more alien stuff on TV this time because it's viewed from an alien hospital. Pretty neat detail. Last time it was mostly just stuff on Earth with different mutations, but now it's all kinda random bullshit because it's outer space as well as being interdimensional. But there are still many things from Earth. Maybe Rick kept his favorite Earth stations bookmarked.
How did I get here? Somebody help me, please!
Holy crap! Look, it's that lady with the shit on her face like Worf from Star Trek that was getting coffee. How did she get there?
Whoa, this is so wild. So the TV abducted this weird woman, then the host is looking right at Rick and Morty. But without Rick, nobody would have seen this TV show from another reality. But if the TV host can see Rick and Morty, does that mean that he has interdimensional travel too? See, and you guys were worried that Rick was the smartest man in the universe. This TV show host has the power to interact with other realities, and Rick can't even cure Cherry's space AIDS. Episode 9. Rick and Morty go to space to participate in the Purge. Not the most interesting concept, but it's always good to see Rick having to fight for his life, with his power limited somehow. In this case, his car, gun, and portal gun has been stolen. Happy purging, Rick. Meanwhile, Summer and Cherry spend some alone time. Great, gotta love the two currently worst characters be awful and lame to each other. Rick tries to call Summer so she can send some kind of emergency go kit consisting of 2 mech suits to him. Morty gets a little carried away, but then Rick wastes his time by doing a violent revolution on this alien planet that will undoubtedly create a power vacuum that will plunge it into even darker chaos. You're like an interdimensional child, Rick. Do you ever even consider the consequences of your actions? Everybody wants to kill the rich, but nobody actually has a plan for how to lead into the future. Pathetic. Rick Tech. Look at the top view of this car where Morty sits down on the back seat, which is the neutrino bomb still. This actually blows my mind. Why did Rick keep the neutrino bomb all this time? But half the time it's covered up in the bags, and then in the next scene it's not covered. And all the time anyone was sitting in the back, they were just sitting on the neutrino bomb very uncomfortably. How does that even work with passenger purge? Do the passengers drop through a trapdoor into the neutrino bomb? What does it all mean? Number 1. Some kind of disintegration grenade that Rick only has one of. Too bad he didn't keep that particle beam wristwatch from Get Schwifty. Actually, that does make a little bit of sense. Since he already has the gun, having a grenade to complement it is better than having another little thing that shoots. Number 2. A space phone that Rick has left so that he can call the family from anywhere in the universe. Meanwhile, Rick's regular phone is able to reach this space phone, so apparently the space phone is a prototype version of Rick's phone. Number 3. Emergency go kit. Number 4. Mech suits. Definitely the most combat ready of all the Rick technology we've seen so far. He could defeat almost anything with these, though I don't think these suits can prevent headshots, since we haven't really seen any force fields that block bullets yet. The suits have jetpack boots, a lot of bullets, rockets, knives, saw blades, flamethrowers, a stun laser that can knock out Morty, and a speaker system that is stuck playing that one song over and over again while you kill people.
I don't know what song that is, but I love it!
Feels good!
In the end credit scene we see the interdimensional cable box with the crystal in it, so I guess Rick has given up on freezing time and is just using it to watch TV now, as to not piss off the alien testicle cops, you know? Episode 10. Rick goes to Bird Person's wedding. Huge episode, greatly important context. Another chance to point out how condensed this show is. In this one episode, Bird Person gets married, then raided by the police, his wife, an undercover cop, kills him. Rick has to go on the run. They spend some time trying to colonize a tiny version of Earth, but then Rick realizes that Jerry is right, and Rick is no good for his family, so he surrenders himself to the authorities. As the episode ends, Rick is in jail, and the family is taken back home by alien insect cops, to an Earth that is now ruled by the Galactic Federation. And all along the way we have amazing little details, and important characters return only to be killed off. This episode is peak Rick and Morty. Rick actually did a meaningful self-sacrifice to protect the family. Is this it? Does Rick finally change? Are we going to see a more heroic Rick in the future? Who will save him from prison? I can't wait to find out in the next season. Rick Tech. Number 1. A self-destruct for the portal gun. Sure, it's too bad that Rick didn't bring along the mech suit, which can literally fit into his pocket. Well, this is a wedding, so I'll forgive it. Number 2. The scanner from the party episode makes a return and is now able to scan all the planets in the universe for how similar to Earth they are. Pretty good, huh? Much more useful than just locating illegal drugs. Number 3. A really powerful handheld microscope that can look at molecules and atoms. We foolishly thought that it would be impossible to observe an atom, because one atom basically doesn't even reflect light, and it would be impossible to get an accurate reading because reflecting that light would move the atom so you wouldn't really see anything. But here's Rick proving that very concept wrong. Take that, physics. Number 4. Rick has built the TV for the family. It is not in color, so he probably doesn't want the family to get too comfortable just yet. So that was a wild ride, huh? A lot of great episodes, and in the end Rick gets arrested and left on a cliffhanger. Is Rick and Morty going to have much bigger stakes now? Maybe we'll have a season where he's in prison. Will he have to establish dominance over the other prisoners? Surely this will take many episodes to wrap up, right? Time for longer storytelling to unfold. Maybe Unity can come and save him from prison eventually when she takes over the whole universe. Psych! April Fool's episode has just dropped. Turns out Rick can break out of prison and also blow up the Citadel of Ricks in just a single episode. And now the episodes are back to literally anything could happen and nothing important has changed. In fact, the only change is that Bess and Cherry are getting a divorce. And the Federation is gone as soon as it had appeared. Sorry guys, I didn't want to leave you on a cliffhanger here, thinking that Rick and Morty would become a serialized drama and start telling longer story arcs. That would be silly, wouldn't it? We'll explore the greater ramifications in the next video, but just think that nothing really changes except for the divorce. So we get less retarded Cherry, isn't that great? Yes it is. Season 3 is gonna be great. Okay, so Season 2 is 100% better than Season 1, possibly even the best season of all time. At time of me recording this, only 2 episodes of Season 6 have come out yet, and it seems really promising, but I think most seasons are at least better than Season 1. Keep watching these season reviews to find out which season I declare to be the best. Maybe in the months I'll have the Season 3 video. Subscribble-up-a-dub-dub to the channel and smash that like button like Cherry with his Hulk fists. I think there was way less rape in this season, isn't that great? Guess the violence is way less sexual. And I'm not going back to do a rape counter, so I guess we'll just have to guess. Maybe I just got numb to all the sex. Or probably not. Season 1 was particularly fucked up, I guess. Well, I have made one important discovery. Morty wears a yellow shirt because he's a minion. Yeah, I bet that would really blows your mind. Don't let Rick erase that knowledge from you. Tell everyone, Morty's a minion. Go! Bye, everyone.